What do you even call a player who walks into a new season averaging 34.6 points, 9 assists, and 8.5 rebounds a night while completely erasing the one flaw that critics use to cling to like a life raft? At some point, the word superstar stops being enough. At some point, MVP doesn't even cover it. What you're seeing right now is something far more unsettling for the rest of the league, because the problem the NBA prayed would never be unlocked has officially arrived, and the scariest part is that it's only just getting started. Luka Dončić isn't just better. He's different. He's refined. He's evolved. And while LeBron's return creates its own kind of spectacle, the truth is simple. The Lakers only look like predators when Luka is the one steering the ship. For years the jokes flowed, the criticisms piled on, and the scouting reports barely changed. Everyone knew Luka's one weakness. He could not be stopped offensively, but his defense was the balance point that opposing teams relied on. That was the formula. Attack him relentlessly, drag him into every screen, force him to defend multiple actions, and eventually the fatigue would show. During the 2024 playoffs, Boston exposed this weakness with precision. He had never played that deep into a season, his body was worn down by injury, and the Celtics built their entire game plan around exploiting that single vulnerability. No one doubted his brilliance, but we were told over and over that Luka would never fix this. That defense would be the blemish on his legacy forever. But something changed this offseason. Not something small. Not something cosmetic. Something fundamental. Luka Dončić walked into this year looking like a different human being. The weight was gone. The movement was sharp. The bursts were sudden. The footwork was lighter. And then the clips started circulating. Luka moving his feet against Steph Curry, staying with him through every hesitation and step-back attempt, refusing to give up even an inch of space. Luka bumping his chest into Giannis, standing his ground, contesting him at the rim, even poking the ball loose as Giannis rose for a layup. Suddenly, the old narrative collapsed because this wasn't a small improvement. This was a transformation. It wasn't Luka trying harder. It was Luka being capable of things he had never physically been able to do. And what no one considered is exactly what truly great players are made of. Luka heard the criticisms. He heard the fat jokes. He heard Nico Harrison poke the bear. And he responded in a way that should terrify every front office in the NBA. Because for the first time in his career, Luka Dončić is not just an offensive force. He is actively trying on defense. He is locking in. He is seeking out matchups. And the results are showing. In Eurobasket this summer, he was even nominated for Best Defender of the tournament as he averaged 2.7 steals per game. But the NBA is a world where talk doesn't matter and clips don't matter. You need a moment. One undeniable moment where your changes translate against the best players in the world. Against the Spurs, we got exactly that. 35 points, 13 assists, 9 rebounds, typical Luka brilliance. But then the defensive explosion arrived. 5 steals, 2 blocks, a career-high defensive showcase. Not tap-away steals. Not accidental deflections. Real, meaningful, game-shifting plays. And while one night can be dismissed as an outlier, the deeper you dive into Luka's numbers, the more the truth becomes unavoidable. His defensive metrics aren't just better. They place him in the 68th percentile. His offense, 100th percentile. His stocks, steals plus blocks, sit at a career best. His defensive box score impact mirrors elite wings like Jimmy Butler. The Luka problem isn't on one side of the ball anymore. It's everywhere. But while defense is the new headline, his offense has climbed into a place just as historic. He began this season joining Wilt Chamberlain as the only players ever to score more than 200 points in their first 5 games. He became the only player in history to open a season with over 200 points, 25 rebounds, and 25 assists. And despite the weight loss, instead of becoming weaker, he became more explosive, earning a career-high 12.5 free throw attempts per game. His finishing at the rim? A ridiculous 95.7%. These are numbers that break algorithms. Numbers that make analysts uncomfortable. Numbers that simply do not happen. And this leads to the next big question. The one that shaped the entire offseason. How will Luka and LeBron fit together? Rumors spread that LeBron didn't like Luka being the center of attention. Whispers circulated that LeBron refused an extension because he didn't like the new hierarchy. But the moment the ball tipped, it was clear the noise was nothing but invented drama. LeBron looked freer than he has in years. Happier. Energized. And in that first game with Luka, he sent his loudest message not through interviews but through the way he played. 7 shot attempts. 12 assists. 30 minutes of pure playmaking. This was LeBron stepping fully into a facilitator role, and it unleashed the Lakers in a way they haven't seen since the early days of the Anthony Davis era. Luka is averaging over 34 per night. Austin Reeves is averaging over 28. The Lakers don't need scoring from LeBron anymore. They need a chessboard manipulator. A leader who can find holes in defenses and elevate role players. If LeBron can channel that version of himself consistently, the connector, the defender, the tone setter, then the Lakers become a legitimate championship threat. The question is no longer whether Luka and LeBron can fit. It's how far that fit can carry them. But then comes the final debate. The one that fans, analysts, and bookmakers are circling. Will all of this be enough for Luka to finally win MVP, or even more importantly, claim an NBA championship? Nikola Jokic is having another absurd season statistically. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is leading a 14-1 Thunder team that looks unstoppable. Even on his best year, Luka may not win MVP simply because the competition